Congratulations, Ali, on being NFC champions. I'm wondering, you guys were 7-5, and things weren't going all that well. What was for you? What was the turning point? What got your offense and your team sort of on the right track and going forward the way you have?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I feel like with these things, it takes a lot of different guys being on the same page and just doing it over and over again. I think that's what we've done. I think just time on task helped us out. Yeah.
Thanks.
We'll go to Gina Lane.
Hey, Ali, you were part of a really special draft class from Jason, and you guys have obviously many of you guys have been re-signed, you and Donovan. You guys are key parts of the organization. Well, this draft class from 2019 has made a lot of contributions in the playoffs. Devin White, Mike Edwards, Sean Murphy-Bunting. Can you just speak to those guys and their contributions to the team, how much they've meant to you in the postseason?
Yeah, the young guys, I think in order to have this much success, you need the young guys to step up. And those guys really have. I mean, there's a lot of good leaders, and you just mentioned all those guys. I mean, they've really done a nice job, and they've taken it very seriously, and they've led from the front as young guys, which is really important.
Next is Greg Allman.
Hey, Ali, you go back, you were drafted to a team that had gone 2-14. And when you did have the chance to be a free agent, to go elsewhere, you re-signed here before Brady was here, before Gronk was here. I just want to ask you, what gave you confidence in this team being a team that could turn things around and win before all those other things happened?
Yeah, there's always, Greg, you've been following us for a while. I mean, there's always been talent here. Like, we've always known that. It's just been putting it together, and executing at the right times, and not turning the ball over and doing the right things. And there's always been talent here, and it's just finally kind of coming together. Yeah.
We'll go over to Sarah Walsh.
Hey, Ali, I'm curious, now that it's been a couple of days, what is it like for you personally, just driving around town and having a couple of days to soak this in? Jason was talking about the fans here, but I think it's a different scenario, obviously, when those banners are up and it involves you in your own town. What has that been like driving around the Tampa Bay area these last couple of days?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, you see a lot more Bucs stuff, even if it's, old logos and stuff like that, but it's cool. People are rocking their Bucs gear. The cars walking around, which is really cool to see. You definitely feel the excitement around here.
We'll go to Ira Kaufman.
Ali, it doesn't get any easier. Super Bowl Sunday, Chris Jones probably standing there right in front of you. What do you remember about that first game against KC and Chris Jones in particular?
He's a really good player, and the defense is really good, and they play at a high level. And, I mean, you can't get this far without playing some good teams. I mean, just to get out here, we're talking about just specific to the defensive front. I mean, going through Washington and Green Bay, they had a lot of good guys, and it's what you expect in playoff and Super Bowl football. So I think that Chris Jones, he does a nice job, and we're going to have to play very, very well as a front. And I think that we're capable of doing better than we did last time.
Go to Tom Krasnicki.
Hey, Ali, congratulations for getting this far in a great season so far. I wanted to ask you about you and your good buddy Donovan Smith, who's playing about as well as he has perhaps in his entire NFL career. What has been the difference you've seen out of him, especially in the last couple of weeks in the playoffs, and why he's playing so well?
Yeah, I think so. As far as the difference, I mean, I think when you have confidence in general as a player, I think that it makes it easier to get things done. And I think that, having a few successful games make it easier to have more successful games. And Donovan he's been a phenomenal, he's got a really hard job out there. And I think he's done a nice job for a long time. And there's no doubt that he's going to continue to do a nice job.
Go to Luke Easterling.
Ali, when you look at the rest of this roster, obviously you guys made some new additions that had a big impact on where you guys are now. But, you look around that locker room with you and Donovan and Mike Evans, Levante David, and so many guys who have been here. kind of this whole time through this generation of this team. What's it like to reflect on being able to experience with them, and also maybe even just personally for you to reflect on where you were playing at Hobart versus now being in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I think coming in 2015 with Donovan and some of those other guys, like we really did have playoffs and Super Bowl in our head. I mean, we were 2-14 before we got here. We're like, we're going to turn this thing around. We're going to dominate. We're going to get to the playoffs. And gosh, it is hard to get here. So I think because it's been so hard, it makes it this moment that much more precious, if you will. I mean, I feel very grateful for being here, and it's been a grind to get here. And back to the Hobart days, I would have never thought I would have been in this position. So I feel really grateful for that.
We're going to call him Mark Cook.
Hey, Ali, you've had a ton of coaches on this team since you've been here. What has Bruce Arians brought to the organization? What did he bring last year to this team to kind of help change the culture? He talked about that. That was his biggest thing, was to change the culture. What are maybe some examples that Bruce was able to do to help you guys change that culture from a losing franchise to now being in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think one thing that I can think of that at least that comes to mind for how BA's done such a great job for us is kind of letting players play their own game and giving guys the opportunity to do what they do that makes them, successful, instead of just, pigeonholing a player and making them do what, you want them to do. But I feel like at least for us as an offensive line, he gives the freedom for the coaches and the players to do what they need to do to get the job done. Even if sometimes he'll say, it's my way, he'll let you do what you need to get it done.
We go to Mark Cannizzaro. We have time for a few more.
Hey, Ali, congratulations for getting to this spot. I'm just curious if you've had time to reflect on your kind of unconventional journey from Hobart, and what when you look back on that, what made you believe you can get to this level? Not necessarily the Super Bowl, but just being drafted, what you did in the combine, kind of opening people's eyes and whatnot during this journey.
Yeah, I definitely think there's been a lot of surprises along the way. I feel like again, depending on when you asked me if I thought I'd be here, I mean, at Hobart, never would have thought that this was on the table. I know there at certain times I thought just making a 53, starting, I had different goals along the way. So this whole thing has just been really cool and really, really exciting for me. It's just an awesome experience for me.
All right, we're going to go to Andrew Cassee and then close out with Jenna Lane.
Hey, Ali, kind of on that same note, you were one of several guys on this offensive line who are playing in the biggest stage, protect the greatest quarterback of all time. You're one of several guys who come from a smaller school. Why do you think this organization has had such success drafting and finding talent from those kind of small beginning stories? And what is it about you guys in general, those small school guys?
I think something unique to small school players is you got to love football and love playing football. And I think that that's something that we all have. I mean, we're all very passionate and we all care very much. And I think that's shown.
Our last one will come from Jenna Lane.
Hey, Ali, can you just speak to the job that Jason Light has done? I know you just talked about Bruce Arians, but for him to be able to get so many of you guys back after drafting you guys, and the moves that he made this offseason and getting Brady, getting Gronk, getting AB, taking a chance on him, just what he's meant to this organization.
Yeah, so I'm biased because I like Jason. I think he does a great job. But no, I think that something I said earlier, I think like ever since I've been here, there's been a whole lot of talent. And I feel like that's what Jason's one of his biggest job is, right? So I think that he has done a nice job, and we're kind of finally putting it together. So, I mean, I think that the scouting department has crushed it. There's a lot of good young talent on the team. So it's exciting.
All right, that's all we have time for today. Thanks, Ali.